Hi, it's Dolls, Toys, and Games Gal. This is my first ever Lunar New Year Barbie, and I can't wait to unbox her. Yay! Pulled her out of the box. That background is so beautiful. It's actually inspiring me to make a backdrop diorama for her so I can take some nice pictures for the upcoming Chinese New Year. Oh look, there's a certificate of authenticity for the Lunar New Year Barbie taped to the back of the box. And here's the base of the stand. Wow, look at how thoroughly they've covered her feet and her heels in plastic. Not sure where I can even cut. Okay, speaking of plastic, look at these. Seriously, I really don't like when they do these 3 plastic ties in the back of her head because I always end up cutting off some of the doll's hair. This is just showing you how much plastic there is left over after unboxing the doll. Actually, I spoke too soon. There's more plastic around her earrings. I think I'll leave those on for now. All right, she is out of the box, so let's take a good look at her. I like her head sculpt a lot. I think it's the same as the one that is in my Crystal Lim Barbie doll, which is the Mariko head sculpt. Her earrings are really unique. They are gold sunbursts, or maybe flowers, with bright teal tassels. This style of dress is called a qipao in Mandarin or a cheongsam in Cantonese, and they've done a really good job with it. It's very form-fitting, and it's got peonies on it, and it has a nice, beautiful hem with that same bright blue teal as is in her tassels. Now here, I almost broke off her heel. Can you see that odd angle? But I don't think it's a problem. She won't be standing on her own. She has bright red nail polish on her fingers. Her hair is nice and long, goes past her waist, and it's not as thick as other Barbies, and it also has just a tiny little bit of product here at the end, so it's just a little bit sticky, but nothing you can't brush out easily. On the arm that's bent, she's wearing a gold bangle. They also did a great job with these Chinese frog fasteners, those knots. That's a really traditional part of the Chinese qipao. In the back, it is Velcroed, so thankfully you don't have to unfasten those frog fasteners to get her in and out of the dress. If you get this doll, just know that it's the one with the bent leg, and with how form-fitting the dress is, it can be a little difficult to get her on top of the doll stand, so just be careful when you're sliding her onto it. More than anything, it was these 2 flower paper cutouts that were in her doll packaging that inspired me to make a Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year doll photography diorama. So I took 2 foam sheets and I covered them with this bright red scrapbook paper using glue sticks. My daughter had some red origami paper that she lent me. I used them to make fans, and then I'm gluing the fans together like that. And then I'm going to glue multiple fans together so that they eventually make one giant ring, like this. This will be a nice backdrop on top of the diorama. Here's some orange clay and some red clay. I used the orange clay to actually make oranges, but I forgot to film myself doing that because I'm a genius. So thankfully I remembered to film myself making petals for a large flower by mixing the red and the orange clay together and then pressing all the petals together to form a giant flower. I used some yellow clay to make some 3D pistils and stamens that stand up and come out of the flower. The clay flower looks a little matte, so I'm going to add some Mod Podge to it. This is what it looks like when you first paint it on, but it doesn't stay because after it dries, it looks like this. And then I glued the clay flower to the fan ring. I wanted to make an ox because 2021 is the year of the ox. So I took some gold glitter paper, did a Google search for oxen that I could actually draw, came up with this one. I sketched that picture freehand on the back of the gold glitter paper and started cutting it out so that once I was fully done cutting it out, I could turn it over and glue it down to the back of the red scrapbook paper. I also used the gold glitter paper to cut out 2021 and glued those to the backdrop as well. I wanted to make a Chinese looking table, so I bought 2 of these pagoda wood shapes from the wood shape store and painted them a wine color. And after I painted them, I added Mod Podge to make them shinier. Using this foam sheet, I cut out and painted 2 rectangles so that these could be glued between the 2 wood shapes and make a table. For my table covering, I'm using the most Chinese looking fabric that I have. I hemmed it with hot glue and glued it down onto the table. It's a tradition to give each other red envelopes full of money. Well, maybe not that much money for the Chinese New Year. So I figured I wanted to create some. I bought these Chinese New Year stickers off of Amazon, and I drew some red envelope templates on the back of red scrapbook paper. And I cut them out and put the Chinese New Year sticker in the front and glued the back together so that it really is like an envelope and a doll could actually put money in. And I made 8 of them because 8 is a lucky number. I made these clay oranges. Like I said, I forgot to take footage of them. And I also made a red plate with clay, and I added that to the table. The pineapple and the pomelo are fruit erasers, and the apples are miniatures that were in a horse playset that Santa gave my daughter. On this panel, I'm going to attach these 2 flower cutouts from the doll's packaging. Using a gold paint pen, I wrote the Chinese character for fortune, and I'm going to attach that to the diorama, but I'm going to do it upside down because in Chinese, the words for upside down and have arrived sound the same. So to hang this upside down means fortune has arrived. I'm also doing the same thing with the Chinese character for spring, turning it upside down and attaching it to the diorama for spring has arrived. I had an idea for making these flower cutouts a little bit more 3D, and they involve these bead caps that I bought from Joann Fabrics, and also these head pins that I also bought from Joann Fabrics. First, I glued down a bead cap into the center of the flower, and then I pushed down those head pins to give it a 3D effect. I used the rest of the Chinese New Year stickers to take up some empty space on the backdrop. It's not Chinese New Year without red lanterns, so I bought these miniature red lanterns from Amazon, and they're a nice size. You can see I'm showing you how small they really are, and I'm going to attach them to the diorama, the backdrop, with these eye pins. Basically, you just push them into the foam and hang the lanterns from them. So that's what the doll photography backdrop diorama looks like for now. And we'll just have to move in our little table with all the fruits and red envelopes to complete it. And now I have a nice background for taking some Lunar New Year pictures with my Lunar New Year Barbie. Well, I hope you liked the Lunar New Year Barbie and the Lunar New Year doll photography diorama. If you did, please like this video and also subscribe to my channel. It really helps. And also turn on the notifications so you know when I put out a new video. And as always, I love reading your comments, and thank you for watching my videos.